We're gonna try out 2 different recipes today. Let's see. Cheese, cottage cheese. Okay, so we're going to try to improve on Dr. Berg's cauliflower pizza crust to make it work for tortillas or taco shells or something. Alright. Probably do the cauliflower first if it's dry. It'd be cool if we had some orange cauliflower. Okay. Okay, we just want to get this. Probably like cottage cheese. Much. So I put this recipe on Discord for the pizza crust. And pictures. And we eat it cold, but it still tasted good. Okay, let's go rinse it. Okay, so we're gonna put this side for a sec. Let's see. And then we're going to do, I'm gonna half the recipe because actually half of the recipe actually makes a lot. So I'm only halving the recipe. So we're going to do 3/4 cup cottage cheese. Because we're going to play around with this recipe. So we're going to be like quartering it till we get the right tortillas. If we get them today. We'll see if we get it today. Let's see if we can get it. Okay, trying to think. Okay. 1/4 cup. 1/4 cup. From my lovely newspaper. Boom. 1/4 cup. We need 3/4. Oh well, half, and then 1/4. 3/4. 3 to half, and then. Okay. Half. Half. And then 1/4. That'll make 3/4. That way. There we go. Got it. Okay, now we'll put that in the blender. Get that. Nope. Get that nice and cool. There we go. Okay, I need to put. Dun dun dun. Okay, nice and creamy. Like thick milk. Got it. Oh, looks like sour cream. That's it. Sour cream. I made sour cream. I wonder if this tastes like sour cream. Let's go wash this off now. Okay, I think I'm done with the mix. All right. Okay. So, baking soda might help. Baking soda or baking powder? Soda? It's baking soda. Baking soda. Thought it was baking powder. Okay. So the cauliflower pizza has cauliflower, mozzarella cheese, and eggs. And then we're going to add sour cream, baking soda. Trying to think. Should we add in the jello? Jello or husks? Or none for the first round. Half cup cheese. Okay. Okay, so what exactly was wrong with his pizza crust is it wouldn't bend, right? So that's why I'm adding in cottage cheese and baking soda. Do we want to add in, I only have one packet of unflavored gelatin. I could try that in a batch. Um, or we could try unflavored gelatin in half of it and psyllium in husk in the other half. How do we want to try and make this thicker so we can roll it? I'm trying to think. Do we need? He does Jello for the potato chips. I'm trying to think what I guess we'll just do whatever. I don't know. Okay, we'll just try this. We'll do half the cottage cheese. We'll do half the cottage cheese, half the cauliflower, half the cauliflower. Okay, we'll mix that together and then we'll put in a half of a cup of cheese, mozzarella cheese, and a little bit of taco cheese for taco flavor. So we'll do just a little bit of mozzarella. And then, like, this has taco seasoning in it, so just get the taco flavor. Okay. This isn't liquidy enough. I don't think so. I don't know. I can always add more. Just add a little more sour cream. Just put all the, or not sour cream, cottage cheese in there. Put all the cottage cheese in there. Let's just do cottage cheese. Okay. Oh gosh. Let's see. Alright. I'm them in. Just like a quarter teaspoon baking soda. Cause they did cheese, cottage cheese, eggs. Oh, we can't forget the egg. The egg. We still gotta do the egg. So let's do a quarter. Okay. Can't forget the egg. Okay, so let's get that mixed thoroughly through. So got a little bit of baking soda in there. I learn what the difference between baking soda and baking powder is again. Oh, it's been a long time. Okay, so a little bit more of the taco cheese. A little bit more taco cheese. Okay. Some people put pork rind smashed up in here for texture too. But I don't have those. So we're not going to worry about texture. We're just going to worry about foldability. We want a tortilla that we can fold. Okay, oh, eggs. Eggs. Let's start with one egg and see how that goes. I almost forgot the egg. Almost forgot the egg. Bad. Let's be at it. Okay. Getting it in there. Again, we'll stick half of this in the oven, 350 bake, 20 minutes. And then we'll see how it comes out, and we'll tweak it if it doesn't come out how we like. We'll see what we need to change. We're trying to avoid flour because it adds carbs. If I don't add carbs to this, it's just vegetables and dairy, and then you can eat as much as you want. But once I add in almond flour, any kind of flour, we get carbs and sugars and stuff. I didn't add sugar. I need sugar? Probably not. It's actually pretty good. Okay. Maybe if this doesn't work, we'll either do Jello or psyllium. So how much is it? I don't know. Oh. Okay. Trying to think how much of a difference this is going to make. Psyllium versus gelatin. I wonder if I should just add it in now. I like my scissors. Okay, what we'll do. Okay. You just cut this parchment paper. Okay, so I'm going to put, okay, put half in here. We'll put psyllium husk in half, and we'll put unflavored gelatin in the other half. And we'll see which one does better. So, let's try it, I guess. See which one does better. Because they both act like gels. The psyllium powder gels up when it gets wet. And it makes your bread thick and gel-like. Okay. There's that. Just put in like a quarter. Like, I don't want to put in that much. Oh, I'm messing with this stuff. Okay. Okay. Let's see if we can cut this a little down. Oh, come on. Don't hit background. Don't change my background. Oops. Okay, this one is the one with the psyllium husk. Okay. That is a pancake. Oops. Okay. Okay. I am going to I'm just gonna order the next. This is the one with the psyllium. There. Now I think I know which one has the psyllium. There we go. Let's see. the Jello one. This one feels thicker. This one feels heavier. Well, that's kind of weird. It does feel thicker and heavier. Weird. This is the one with the unflavored gelatin. This one is spreading very different. It is thicker and heavier. It is kind of thicker. Right off the bat, it's kind of thicker. There we go. Let's see. Okay, now we put them in the oven 20 minutes. 20 minutes. The Jello one's on the right side, the psyllium on the left. Okay, one has Jello, one has psyllium. We'll see. The Jello one already feels heavier. Like I mixed in the Jello, and then I mixed in the psyllium in the other half, and I spread the psyllium one. By the time I got back to the Jello one to spread it flat, it's heavy. I don't know. It thickened. Well, that means it thickened up pretty fast, and it's kind of thick, and it just depends on how it cooks. What I'm looking for is we want something foldable or workable for quesadillas or tacos, right? We don't want it to like pick it up in it. That's why we added in the cottage cheese so it doesn't like fall apart when we bend it. Because when I bent the pizza crust, the cauliflower broke up, and so the pizza crust was almost a perfect idea for tortillas, except for the fact that it broke up. And I don't know if, and that's why we decided to go this route and add a thickener, Dawn. We wanted a thickener. We were looking for a thickener to make it so that it didn't. We want the cheese to cook up crispy like the pizza crust. We want it crispy like the pizza crust, but we want it to bend a little bit. I don't know if we're going to get that, or maybe we'll just have to eat tacos on a pizza crust. I don't know. Might have to just eat tacos on a pizza crust. Okay, Jim. Oh, what's that press on timer? 20 minutes. Okay, timer is set at 19 minutes. Okay, there we go. I almost forgot that timer. Okay. And no flowers, so you can taste test it all you want. I'm avoiding the flour for you. Okay. Oh. Hey! Yes, you did catch me. I'm doing good, Boudica. I was wondering if you're going to catch me live sometime again. All right. So, we want to talk what's going on in there. Have you stayed following the Gypsy Rose community? I haven't followed it in months. In the last month, I've been catching up on some of it, not all of it, some of it. some. Caught enough to, oh no, damn it, it broke. Told you ceramic's bad. It was on the counter. I don't know how it broke. I didn't drop it. It was just on the counter. Can we glue it back together or something? See, this is why ceramic is a bad idea in a way. I love these. I love this mason jar theme. But yes, ceramic. I just looked over and I must have set something on top of it or something because it didn't fall off the counter. And I know our tile is brutal because it's real tile. Oh man, my tablespoon broke. I can still technically use it. All right, there we go. Be on TikTok. Well, I'm not on TikTok as much because when 13th hour left and I had to rebrand myself again, I was like, oh my gosh, this is my third rebrand and I didn't know what to do with myself anymore. And I'm on X actually more than anything. I'm on X all the time. I'm on X a lot. And so I rebranded myself on X, and then I later went ahead and decided to go back to YouTube and rebrand myself on YouTube and just make my YouTube match. Oh, you still like Becca Scoops, huh? I think it's kind of funny she got doxxed. Like, I don't agree with doxing. I really don't. But, like, where do you draw the line when she lied about she lied about being married, she lied about having a partner, she lied about being an RN, a retired RN at least. People were asking me before I left the community, they were asking me what I thought of Becca Scoops, and I said that I know she's older than me, and she's never done YouTube before, and all of a sudden she's just magically on YouTube and knows how to make videos. And I thought that was a little fishy, that a retired RN would just magically, I guess, know how to make it YouTube videos. Most YouTubers, when they start out, do not start out great and wonderful and know how to do videos and know how to edit and all this and spend the time editing and doing all that. You learn as you go, and you learn from other streamers. You group with other streamers, you learn from other streamers. And she just hit the YouTube scene with her feet on the ground running. You got away from the drama. So, like, because it's like, it's a dilemma because the YouTube community deserves truth. So if you're going to be a streamer and you're going to come out and you're going to say, I'm an RN, and so I know what I'm talking about, then that better be true. And nobody knows it's true until you get somebody who can dox you. I don't know how people dox. I don't get how people do that. I really don't. I don't know how people do that. But they do. Somehow people do it, and they figure out people's whole lives. And it turns out that the partner that she says she's a retired RN, and then her partner is a retired police officer. Retired means you've had a good career at it and you're too old to continue and you quit your job and now you're home on Social Security because you're old. Should be because of the format. Yeah, she has good format. I agree she does have good format. I don't think we should worship her like we worship Nina. That's one of the reasons that I was like, ugh, when I was in the community, because I didn't worship Nina either. I think, And I think it's bold of Nina to call herself flawless. But it's funny, Sir Morbid. The other day a thing came across my screen. He is putting a streamer on blast for using somebody else's profile picture for her profile picture and lying. Yet they're protecting Becca because Becca, turns out her partner died 30 years ago. And when he died, they were divorced and he was remarried. No. I'm like, you can watch him, just don't worship him. Like, everybody's like, oh my God, it's Becca, it's Nina. They're here, guys. And I'm just like, ugh. All of us streamers out there do the best we can. We're all doing good job out there. We're all bringing all different kinds of information. There are some streamers that can dig and got more money to go dig. I wish I had money to go to Missouri and go dig this case. I would, but I can't go to Missouri. Like, there's no way. Because I would go to Missouri for like a week and sit there for a week in the police station and dig everything up. But there's some people that can do that, and there's some people that can't do that. So some people have to just do their best with what they got and stream with what they got. And Becca Scoops, she has the wrong Dan on her videos. So people are saying that's wrong because she's got the wrong Dan. Into anyone's live streams other than Tottie's on a very... Toddy and Bree are fighting because Bree called Toddy a pedo, and Toddy said something about Bree's husband. And so there's some Toddy and Becca are kind of getting it in that community right now. Like, people are coming after them and I get why. I don't normally side with Bree. I understand where Bree's coming from, but I'm not going to call anybody a pedo either. And mine now on a rare occasion. But yeah, so, and it turns out Becca Scoops lost her RN license due to drugs. She's not retired either. So there's that too. So I don't even know if she was a psych RN or just a regular RN. I don't even know how far she got into the RN program before she lost her license to drugs. And now she's just an ex-druggie like all of us other streamers, just ex-druggies out here, putting ourselves out here online, talking about our lives and stuff and talking about other people's lives. And she just basically turned out to be no different than any of us. She's nothing... This is why you don't worship them, because she's nothing more special than anybody else, than any other streamer out there. Her husband cheated on her. She's divorced. She's did drugs. She lost her career because of it. And yeah. To May. I have... Oh, that's her name, May Noodles. I forgot what her name was. Well, I stopped watching May Noodles, and then I think that's one reason why 13th Hour left, is because I stopped watching May Noodles because it turns out that May Noodles is no different than Sir Morbid. Like, I know why they dated and they got along really well. Like, I don't see May Noodles any different than Sir Morbid. Yeah, well, I think 13th Hour also left because there's somebody in my community that's been offending people. I don't think they purposely mean to. They have some problems, and I don't think they purposely mean to. And some people are tolerable, and some people just they're not tolerable, and you screw up and they stop talking to you. Drama to create drama. Yeah, and so I left May Noodles because she was doing to me exactly what Sir Morbid was doing to me. Stealing my thoughts, stealing what I was saying, stealing and not crediting me for anything. And well, and Hello Starlight told me, she warned me about May Noodles and told me that May Noodles was a big doxer and everything like everybody else too, and that she's no better. At least I think I mean, May Noodles wants to get down on Sir Morbid and everything, but I think Sir Morbid stopped his doxing and a lot of his bad behavior that he did have. He has been canceled off YouTube 9 times, and he's had a lot of horrendous behavior in the past, but he is a different guy now that he's leading up the Gypsy Rose community. And he's been doing this for well over a year now. Well, no, about a year now. It's been about a year. I think I met him about a year ago this time. So it's been about a year he's been on this community. And um has it been a year? Yeah, it's been a year. So it's been a year. And been at Tully's pod watching Hales versus Preston lawsuit. Oh, you want ha! I'll have to go look that up. So I'll look up Tully's pod, and I'll also look up Hales versus Preston lawsuit. I want to look into the Lori Daybell case. It turns out a lot of things are going on in Lori Daybell's case right now because I'm so done with Gypsy. But Lori Daybell interests me because, well, her case is along my lines of religion. Because Lori Daybell they claim to be like Mormon. They left the Mormon church and they're talking about becoming part of the 144, which they are screwing up what the 144 means. You know, I'm gonna have to make a stream later on about the 144 and talk about Lori Daybell's case. And I hear Lori Daybell is representing herself. That's pretty bold of her. The only thing is what are they holding Lori Daybell on? Missing children because they haven't found the children's bodies yet, right? Like they have missing children, but no 5 more minutes. They have no bodies. They have missing children but no bodies, and so it's like child endangerment kind of thing. People are starting to freak out about Mormons, and because you got Lori and Chad Daybell, and then you have what's her name? Jody Hildebrand and um Jody and Ruby Frank, their little insane little story about what they did to their kids. Lori Daybell is a huge, yeah, hanging herself in Arizona. Yeah, I didn't know she was in Arizona or Idaho. Oh, they did find him. Okay, they found the bodies, evicted on Idaho murder. Okay, yeah, because I knew in Idaho there were some bodies up in Idaho. Like they've been going between Utah, Idaho, and Arizona. This is like federal now because they've done crimes in 3 different states. This is like federal now. Like, I'm gonna have to look up her case and start talking about it because hers interests me because I want to hear what they talk about and everything. And because it started out about Chad telling Lori that she was what's that word transcended and part of the 144. And that's some crazy talk. I love it when people think they have magical powers and then they don't. Like if you're part of the 144 and you have transcended into you're an angel, I guess. You're transcended by God. You can blink and go anywhere in the world you want. Like, so why would Lori Daybell be in jail if she's part of the 144? She can just blink herself wherever she wants. You know? So I don't get how these people hold these delusions. Yeah, her brother Alex killed Lori's husband. Okay. Yeah, I know there was like the shooting from the car or something like that. And then, yeah, one of the kids went missing in like Idaho. And because Chad was sitting there scoring them like, oh, they're like a -2. The devil's got this much hold on them. They're like a -2. Maybe I'll have to look up their case tonight and maybe talk on it tomorrow. I'm gonna have to take a deep dive into their case. Cause yeah, like there's people deep diving in gypsies that I don't need to jump back into that community. Um, between Flawless Nina, Ivory Rose Nose, and Fancy, they're pulling up new stuff never heard of before. They're out there getting these FOIA requests. Like I said, I can't go out to Missouri and get FOIA requests and stuff. I wish I could. Wish I could, but anything on Lori Daybell in Utah I can go get. I'm like here in Utah. I'm like, tell me anything that's on Lori Daybell here in Utah. I think her cases are in Idaho and Arizona though. I don't think any of them are in Utah. But I can look at Ruby Frank's case that's here in Utah. And I have a lot to say about that case too. Everybody's tired of our Utah CPS, we call it DCFS, system, and it needs to be shut down. Because when kids are really abused, they ignore them until somebody either like dies or nearly dies. And then they take good kids out of homes and put them in abusive homes. Kids that have never been abused before, put them in abusive homes. The camera's facing that way, so if you go that way, you're fine. So it's only on half the kitchen. Okay. These look like tortillas. Look at that. They look like tortillas gone.
Yep. What's that?
They look like tortillas.
Yeah.
Look at that. Do they function like tortillas? The question. They look. Oops. We gotta let them. They're hot, so you don't want to touch them while they're hot because we want to let them solidify. But they look exactly like a tortilla, don't they? That cauliflower was a good idea. That cauliflower was a really good idea. Here, let me bring the phone over here. It is dying, so I had to plug it in. But these actually look like tortillas. I didn't expect them to actually look like tortillas, but they look like tortillas. They look good. Okay, so this one's the one, I'm glad I marked it because I just mixed them up. I was like left side psyllium, right side jello. Okay. Okay, this one's the jello one, and you can kind of tell. The psyllium cooked up darker. Okay, so the psyllium cooked up brown on this side, whereas it looks like the one with the jello didn't set as well on this side. It's a little greasier. So it looks like the jello didn't set up as well. It's browned a little bit, but not as much as the psyllium one. I think this one with psyllium is gonna win. Cause look, it's bendable. If you come look at these, Dawn, I'll turn the camera away. If you wanna come look. Dawn, do you want to come look at these? I said I'll turn the camera away. Do you want to come look at these real quick?
Yeah, I guess.
They're a little warm to taste, but you can look at them real quick. Let's see. You don't have to go to the state to get a FOIA, but now because the dogs have. Well, yeah, it takes a few days if you FOIA request it from a different state. The camera's facing this way, so it doesn't. So this one's the one with the psyllium, and this one's kind of nicely browned on that side. The one with yellow, though, didn't brown as well. It browned a little bit, but some of it's sticky, so it didn't brown as well. So this is the one with the unflavored gelatin, and this is the psyllium.
Let it cool and see what it does, I guess.
Yeah, well, I think, look at this. I think the psyllium might, because it's already wet and it's already foldable. It's not, so I think we might be able to go with this one.
Well, its properties will change.
I actually think both of them work, and I think they're going to taste identical. And I think we can use both these tonight. And if you want, I can whip up some more too. So it's up to you. But I think they're both going to work. But yeah, we have to let them dry before we can bend them and touch them. Charged with the attempted murder of her niece's ex-husband. Well, okay, so Brandon, maybe he's the one I'm thinking of, that they were in the car, and I think it was in Arizona, and like they shot a gun at him, and they totally missed him, and he totally freaked out, and like, yeah, no, I'm gonna have to look up this case and go over this case. And last year when Lori got arrested, I wasn't ready to talk about the case because I was barely even learning what the 144 was. And I was asking my husband a lot of questions about what the 144 was and everything, because we don't talk about that in the LDS church. It's not something you talk about all the time in the LDS church. It's not like everybody knows what the 144 is and we all talk about it, you know? We don't. And so I'd never heard of the 144 before. But now I think I'm more equipped to talk about all that stuff, because I've learned a lot in the last year. Okay, watch this. Okay. Yeah, I love. Okay, this is the one with the psyllium, and it turned out nice and brown on this side. Oh, look at that. That looks like a tortilla. This one's looking good. Combining these two recipes is actually, I think, working out. It feels like a real tortilla. This is the first recipe that worked besides. And these are supposed to be donuts, but they turned out to be cookies, and my husband likes those, and I make a frosting to put on top of it with heavy whipping cream, and he likes that. And so did my kids, and the cookies are a winner. They're supposed to be donuts, but they're cookies. They taste more like sugar cookies. They're supposed to be donuts, though. Let's see. She got arrested in 2022. Kid's case is settled. Chad got the death penalty. Yeah, like her case is like crazy. Like if somebody comes up to you at a little convention or something, they're like, "Oh, you're transcended. You're special. You're 144. Run the other way. Run the other way." Like it just makes you wonder what people. It makes them be like, "Oh, you really think I am? Oh, hi." I don't know if I should put them in longer to make them crispier or just keep them this way. Because they are nice this way. I was hoping for a crispier, but then again, I might like it soft like this, so maybe I don't want it crispier. But they both are foldable, which is nice. So both of them made a fold. Okay, the one with the jello in it is a little sticky. Okay, this one's a little sticky. The one with the psyllium is a little drier. Okay, so this one's sticky if you use unflavored gelatin. It's a little on the sticky side. Okay, so that's a little sticky. It's kind of, but it looks good. It looks like a tortilla. Oh my gosh, I can't believe they look like a tortilla. Okay, now we need to make a couple more of them. Well, I don't have any more jello, so we're going to have to do psyllium. So besides tasting them, Dawn, it looks like they're working out. Do you want me to make a couple more, or do you want to just have these two tonight, or do you want me to make a couple more just in case?
Go ahead and make a total of 4 more.
Oh, you want me to make 4 more?
Yeah.
Okay.
Make 4 more, and then we'll eat those 2 now to see how they taste when they get cool down.
Okay.
And see what the difference in taste is between the two.
Okay, and if you like the jello one, we'll have to buy jello. But these ones, I don't have any more jello, so we're going to do the next batch with psyllium.
Okay.
And I only used like a quarter cup of psyllium. I barely even touched the psyllium. I just sprinkled a tiny bit, a quarter cup. Probably when I broke my spoon is I probably set the spoons down a little too hard on the counter. And... Okay, so let's go ahead and whip up a batch of. We'll whip up another batch because these are for taste testing, and my husband wants some for dinner. So we're gonna go. We'll go whip up another batch. I watched the video, the donut cookie one. Oh yeah, see that's the donut cookie ones I have, and my neighbors liked them, and my kids liked them, and my husband really likes them. They're supposed to be donuts, but they're cookies. But everybody likes them. But this cooking, this new kind of keto cooking is not easy. It's not easy. It's can be frustrating at times, a little bit difficult to get things to turn out how you want them to, and it just there's been some recipes that I've just been like the pancakes that those were throwaway. I mean, I was just like, okay, I can't do the pancakes. Those are done. Whatever. Okay, so here we go. We're going to make this time. We're just going to make 1 batch of psyllium because we're out of jello. So we're just going to do psyllium because we're out of jello. So here we go. We still have our cut up cauliflower. Now we got to go chop up another cup of. We're gonna do a full recipe this time because my husband wants 4 more tortillas. So we're going to do a full cup and a half of cottage cheese. Okay. But yeah, the cookie one turned out, it tastes a lot like a sugar cookie, and so it's not bad. That wasn't a bad recipe. It just didn't come out like the cake donut I was hoping it would come out to be. But it's fine. So, all right, here we go. Cup and a half of boom boom. But yeah, I need to watch. There's this guy I watch occasionally. What's his? Trying to think. What's his name again? Live from My Sofa guy. He's doing Lori Daybell right now too. He does crime, and he does whatever crime at the moment. He's done a little bit of Gypsy. He's actually for Gypsy though, so he's kind of interesting to watch because I've tried to email him and couple up with him and find out why he doesn't know much about Nick Godejohn, and he doesn't really side with But like I've taken this middle ground on Nick Go to John now. Like I don't have the same views I had. Like, because Nick did know right from wrong. He did email his sister. He did. He knew not to tell his parents about it. He knew to sneak off in the cab and not tell his mom. Like he was being very secretive, and he knew because he knew what Gypsy was asking him to do was wrong. And so he did know right from wrong. And if that's the biggest element of the crime is whether you knew right from wrong, well then he's guilty. He knew right from wrong. There are some autistic people that don't, but Nick is one of those that he could live on his own. He could. The doctor said he could. Therefore, he knew enough to take care of himself. But yes, they are easily manipulated because she did. I agree that she did manipulate him. But he still did know right from wrong, is the hard part. There was manipulation, which is rude, horrible person to do that to somebody. Like, I'd be so mad if somebody manipulated my autistic child. I'd be just like Stephanie and be furious. But I also blame. They just let him go to jail and they didn't help him. They were on the outside and they didn't help him. And Gypsy had her family, her lawyers, everybody behind her helping her. There should have been people helping him secure a deal. A decent deal. I mean, it was voting year. But our court systems are corrupt. I do agree with that too, though. That Fancy, I just watched one of her videos where Fancy said that there's an SD card that the cops nobody looked at. There's an SD card that's in evidence right now. To this day, nobody's looked at that SD card. Toya bombshell Dee Dee died on the 9th, not the 10th. Yeah, that's what I kept saying. When I was doing the community, I was saying that Dee Dee, Gypsy said in the interview, she was very sure that Dee Dee died on the 9th. And the first autopsy, or not autopsy, but thing I found on Dee Dee said the 9th, and then everything else I found said the 10th, and it was really confusing because there are things out there that says the cops say she died on the 9th. And so there is a speculation that, well, I'm with Fancy. I want to see what's on that disc. There is an SD card in evidence right now that was on Gypsy when she was arrested at Nick's house. So that could have damning evidence, but nobody wants to look at it. Because what if it has Dan on it? Gypsy is protecting Dan. She is. Why do you think she still talks to him to this day? Because she's protecting him. Because why would Dan still talk to Gypsy unless he needs her protection? Because there is no reason, absolutely zero reason, for Dan today to still be talking to Gypsy. They weren't in love. He wasn't in love with her. She was in love with him. He wasn't in love with her. I think Nick is covering for Gyp. I didn't buy her ticket. Yeah, there is that whole ticket to Wisconsin debacle. The whole ticket to Wisconsin thing is all messed up. Because there was a reason she didn't buy. I think Dan got mad at her the night before. Something went wrong between her and Dan. And Dee Dee. Something went down. And then she ended up having to go with Nick because she couldn't get a hold of Dan because she tried to get a hold of Dan while they were in the hotel. And Like I said, there's more on that phone and there's more on those SD cards. The cops just won't look into it because if it. Did you know, like most murder trials can take anywhere from like 2, 3, 4, 5 to 8 years to get through because you have to gather evidence, psych evals, all kinds of things. And with Gypsy and Nick, they moved fast. They moved very, very fast. They did not take that time. They did not take the time to gather evidence. They did not take the time to do a proper. Because Gypsy should have spent her whole 8 years. Like by the time she got that plea deal, she should have been like released on time served because it should have took 8 to 10 years to go through Gypsy and Nick's case to pull proper evidence. But no, nothing went through proper chain of custody. Dan didn't want to be caught up in the murder. Yeah. I don't know if Dan helped or he just knew about it and he's like, I ain't getting caught in this. And he took off because he already has a record. He knows he's going down. He ain't getting no plea deal. If you have a record, you're not getting no plea deal. Dan has a record. He ain't getting no plea deal. He's on probation. He ain't getting no plea deal. He's already well known in the justice system. He ain't getting a plea deal. There's nothing that is good for Dan in this situation. Because if Gypsy had no priors, Nick had no priors. That's why they thought everything would be okay. Because Nick had no priors, Gypsy had no priors. There was no priors. But see, the problem is the night that they arrested Nick and got his confession, pretty much he confessed. They didn't need to do a ton of. They were just like, oh, this could be so cut and dry. We're not going to spend very much tax dollars because Nick confessed. And if you watch Stephanie's interview with the cop, the cop told Stephanie, because Stephanie asked, are you sure my son did it? And the cop said, well, his description of what happened kind of matches the scene. And so we're going to say, yeah, we're pretty sure, because what Nick said mostly matched up to what they had. And so it was pretty easy, pretty cut and dry. They're like, oh, this is going to be really easy, really cut and dry because the confession. That's why you never confess. Keep your mouth shut. You have the right to remain silent, and you should. Okay. We're going to mix our cottage cheese back in with our, what you call it? Cauliflower. Let's go. Let's see. All right. Hopefully that's enough cauliflower. I might have to chop more cauliflower. I don't know. Let's mix it in and see if it's enough, or I have to chop more cauliflower. I might need to chop a little bit more cauliflower because I think I had more cauliflower last time. I think I did. Okay. So, have you heard about Jip and the toothbrush? Yes, I did. Her little dirty videos in her toothbrush. So now we know what she was doing to make money before she killed her mom. Her and her toothbrush were making some money. Yeah, I've been catching up a little bit this last month on some of the things people have been saying about. Oh. And I haven't, and I've been also watching a little bit what's going on with Life After Lockup Season 2. Yeah. I just don't get why she loves Ken so much. Like, what is. Okay, where'd my knife go? Oh, there it is. I don't get what's so much better than Ryan. You know, it's funny if you look at Ken and Christy and everybody, go back and look at Ken when he first met Gypsy in the prison, and his hair is dark brown and he has a lot of hair. And if you look at Christy it has her hair curled and it's pretty and she's wearing makeup. And it's like if you spend enough time with Gypsy, because I'm going to tie this into streaming too, okay? As streamers, be careful because as you get obsessed with Gypsy and spend enough time on Gypsy, because there's a streamer out there that's been streaming Gypsy since the beginning of last year, and they also looked better too. It's like when you get this unhealthy obsession with Gypsy, your looks go. It's like you. It's just inevitable when you spend too much time on Gypsy. I mean, look at Fancy. She spent too much time on Gypsy. Fancy cannot talk about Gypsy using heavy filters because Fancy uses heavy filters too. Chip will try and get a Colgate commercial. Well, she needs to upgrade to. She needs that Colgate commercial because she likes free stuff and she's gonna want a really expensive, really good electric toothbrush. Because you know, more power, more quality. She yeah. She gotta go get that really expensive new toothbrush. I heard something the other day. I was on YouTube, I think, or something, and people were talking about, or Gypsy was talking about, like, oh, people are like trying to get her to do OnlyFans or something, or see her nude or something, or whatever. Blah, blah, blah. I don't know if that's true or not, or if Gypsy's just like dreaming again about her old career. Because I'm like, who's asking Gypsy? I don't know anybody who's asking Gypsy to be on OnlyFans. Everybody's telling her to back off of it. Nobody wants to see that. I forgot which video I was watching or listening to. I just kind of rumbling through some of the videos, and it had clips of Gypsy talking to like news outlets and stuff, and she was talking about how being famous and coming out and being famous and well known and everything. And I mean, oops. Okay, now what did okay? So we got the cauliflower in there, we got the cheese in there, the two cheeses, and we got the cottage cheese. So now we need. So we're gonna do the baking soda, and then we're gonna do the baking soda, and then after the baking soda, we need the eggs and the psyllium. I think so. Eggs and psyllium. So we'll use a little bit more psyllium than we used last time, but okay. Okay. There isn't enough bleach on the planet too. It's like, yeah, leak your brain out after that. There's a there men just whew, men some men out there. Well, Ken is probably one of them for entertainment purposes, allegedly. I mean, I want to sit down with Ken and ask him why were you in a pen pal program and you weren't just looking for a friend? Why did you start dating Gypsy? And because once again, yes, Gypsy looked like a little girl when she first went to jail. She looked like a little girl. She was passing as a 15, 16 year old when she went to jail. And so it's quite sick of these people to be same thing why Bree called Toddy pedo. So it's kind of interesting that they can tell Toddy and them guys can tell um or Bree can tell Toddy that Toddy's a pedo. I'm trying to get my words straight. Okay, so Bree called Toddy a pedo. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that word. I gotta say something else. Anyways, Bree called Toddy that, and trying to think. What was I gonna say? Um, she's not calling Ken that. Ken did the same thing Toddy did. Found a girl in jail that looked like a 12-year-old. Fell in love with them. Same thing, same thing. So it's kind of funny the double standards that go on in the community. The double standards. Okay, we got the eggs in there. Now we're going to put the psyllium in there, and I think that was everything that we did. I got to write down this recipe now. Seems how it worked. Okay, and we'll put this in Discord too. We'll put pictures and recipes in Discord and everything. Let's see. But yeah, so yeah, Bree needs to turn around and look at Ken if she's looking at Toddy, because it's like they both did the same exact thing. Same exact thing. You can't call it for one and not the other. So it's like, Bree, if you're gonna call that on Toddy, go call that on Ken. And now he's got a daughter with Gypsy, which that's why everybody's scared. Because they got a daughter together now. And that daughter already seems very unhappy. They don't even. Didn't the hospital show them how to hold a baby with a floppy head? How to support a baby? Not just toss it around like a doll, like a stuffed animal. I can see why everybody's upset. I've seen some of the videos of how they hold the baby, how they treat the baby, and how the baby like pushes them away. There's no love there. There's no bond. There's no bond. And why are they bottle feeding the baby? I don't get why Gypsy's bottle feeding. In it for the money? Yeah, he is. I'm still wondering if it's not Ken's baby, but for the show they're saying it's Ken's baby because nothing grabs ratings like a love triangle. And then that's Ryan's baby, and there's no way that baby was born in December and it's Ken's. Because if it was Ken's and it came a month early, that baby would be in the hospital for at least a week or two after birth. Because usually if the baby's born 3-4 weeks early, it's underweight and they keep it in the hospital for an extra few days. And so there's no way that baby is not Ryan's. And so either the baby's Ryan's and or the baby is somebody else's and they're borrowing this baby. Because I don't believe the birthing story either. On your first time having a baby, especially with an epidural, you don't push out a baby in 15 minutes. That's just unheard of. The first one takes forever, and then the next ones come faster. But your first one always takes forever. Like, unless this isn't Gypsy's first baby somehow, and she's hidden another one before. Because if she had a baby that quick, then this isn't her first, by the way, in my opinion. Because her birth story is so plain and doesn't make any sense. A couple of months older. More like it. Yeah. Oh no, that baby is. When I saw it, I was like, that is not a newborn baby. I said it's too big. It's not because a newborn baby really is floppy headed. That baby's actually holding up some of its own head and neck. You can tell how newborn a baby is by A, the size. Newborns are really tiny, and B, they really are floppy heads. They really cannot hold their own head up. They are floppy little things. You have to be so very careful when you have a newborn. They're so floppy and they're so weak and they're asleep all the time too. Like the fact that she's having trouble getting the baby to sleep, it's like really babies sleep a lot in their first 3 months. Because the first 3 months is known as the fourth trimester. Because see, us humans have really big heads. Because really we should carry our babies for a full like 12, 13 months for like a whole year. Because like elephants and stuff, they carry their babies like 2 years and stuff. Like most animals carry their babies for a very long time, primates. But humans don't because our heads are so big that. So basically, your first 3 months of life are known as your fourth trimester because it's the trimester you're out of the womb and growing because you can't grow that big inside the womb or you'll never come out. I've had 5 babies. I know very much about having babies. And I don't know any baby that can hold up its head. Like the video I just saw, it was today or last night of Gypsy. I'm just sitting there watching her, and when her and Bree were watching, when they were watching Life After Lockup. I mean, that baby is really long, and it's got some head support. And she's trying to make her baby crawl. I was like, what the hey? That doesn't happen till 6 months. It's like, whoa. Not till like June or July, Gypsy. It's like, hold your horses on that one. The baby's not supposed to crawl for a while. Well, they're cold if you want to look at them and try them on. I'm going to put the others in the oven. I hate using the oven. It heats up the house. Hate heating up the house. It's the only bad part about using the oven is heating up the house. I hate heating up the house. Okay, so this is working out. So this is a good tortilla recipe. This one's working out. Yay. Something's somewhat working out. Okay. Put a quarter of this on here. A quarter of the recipe on here. And spread it around. Oops. Okay. Oh. But yeah, I'm glad in a way that some people are still on the case and doing the deeper, farther dives and finding out. And then there's a bunch of new people in the Gypsy Rose community that people have clued into her name again, get you views. And so there's a lot of new people in the community too. I thought Sir Morbid liked Cat's Cradle or something because she's been on Morbid a couple times before. Because she says she lives in Gypsy's neighborhood in Missouri. Cat's Cradle, isn't that who? But I guess he's calling her out too, I guess, for lies or something. Because Cat's Cradle said that they're the ones who did the home for. I highly doubt that. I don't know. I mean, her stories were always kind of crazy about her saying Gypsy yelled at him and was kind of bratty about the color of the house and all kinds of stuff. And I don't know. You'd think if somebody got out of their wheelchair and was yelling at you, you would be like, you know what? That cancels you out of getting a house. Be like, you're done. If you can get out of that wheelchair, you obviously don't need it. Okay, let's get the other one. Is Cat's Cradle story just kind of weird because they're like, people just stop giving Jip attention. Well, yeah, she would. She'd go away. The more attention you give somebody, the less, yeah, well, as long as Sir Orbit keeps doing Gypsy's case, but he does it because Ken is showing up on his streams and stuff, and like Ken is getting in this, and Ken can't help himself. He's got to jump in and defend every. It is so not worth it jumping on the internet and trying to defend yourself like against strangers that you don't know that are going to get on there and talk about your story. There's nothing you can do. So you just got to do the best you can to just be honest and tell the truth, and nobody should be able to dox you because there shouldn't be anything to dox. If you tell the truth, there's nothing to dox. Like I said, Becca Scoops would be having to explain her story right now if she hadn't lied about her partner and being married. You can't claim your ex-husband as your partner. It's like, I'm sorry that she didn't get remarried over those 30 years. He got remarried. She didn't. And don't know why. She should have got remarried. She could have married another cop. And they could be making videos together. But it's not her ex's fault that she didn't get remarried, and so she doesn't get to sit there and still claim to be married to him when she's not, because she's lonely and still hung up on him. Watch Morbid for over. Yeah, I haven't watched Morbid either. I just see his little clips occasionally come across my algorithm, and I just read what it says and just kind of get a hint of what he's talking about. Because I've never. The Gypsy community is split into, like, there's 3 categories. Either you're new and on your own, doing your own thing, and nobody's noticed you yet, or B, you're on Sir Morbid's side and you're on his good side, and he hasn't come after you, doxed you or anything, or his people, or you're on Fancy's side, and she's kind of psychotic. And what is going on with Fancy? And I keep checking in on Fancy's case and Sarah's case. Why is there nothing on CaseNet? Why are we 5 months later, 6 months later, 6 months later, and their court dates haven't been rescheduled? They still have the same warrants out for their arrest, and nobody's come after them? I guess they don't want to come all the way from Missouri to Kentucky and come get them. Like, I keep checking Missouri CaseNet to see if any new dockets have been filed, or to see if any new court date has been set. And I keep thinking, okay, it's another month. Another month has gone by. I'm going to get on there and we're going to see a court date and we'll go talk about it. And I get on there, and once again, there's another court date, and there's no court date set. And oh my gosh, I thought Becca Scoops was married to a. Well, she was married to a cop, and she was an RN. And I don't know what happened first, but he's abusive. He cheated on her. He left her. He got remarried. He died 4 months later. He was murdered. Somewhere in all of this, she did drugs. She lost her license. And then now it's 30 years down the road. This is 30 years later. He's been dead for 30 years. She hasn't had him as her partner for like 30 years. And so, yeah, no, she lied and made everybody think that she had a partner who is a retired cop and that she's a retired RN, and they're doing these videos together. And it's not. It's her doing the videos by herself, and she's not a retired RN. She lost her license to drugs. She gave up her license for drugs. It's Fancy and other two creators. Yeah, like I just keep trying to see when Fancy's court case is. Like I cannot believe that at least Sarah has a lawyer. So why isn't Sarah's lawyer doing her job? And why hasn't Sarah at least gotten a case rescheduled? Because she's got a public defender. Sarah does. Fancy has to file her own paperwork, and she obviously doesn't know how to do that. Like, this is why court is scary, because there's certain ways you have to file paperwork, and if you file it wrong, you just look stupid to the courts. And she's looking stupid going pro se. I also want that question answered. Why is Missouri making Fancy go pro se? How does Fancy, because apparently the home Fancy lives in is not hers. And she doesn't have a job, and her husband doesn't make a lot of money. Like, he doesn't have a career or anything. Like, how does she not qualify for a public defender? Most people qualify for a public defender. I don't know who out there doesn't qualify for one, because everybody generally qualifies for one. Crazy, why say anything about your background? Just do the video. Yeah. I mean, she could have said I was an RN at one time. That would have covered her butt. If she would have said I was an RN at one time, that would have covered her butt. And because, like, I was a CNA at one time for like a year of my life. That was it. Like, one time. That doesn't make you a CNA forever. Like, she should have just said, look, I was an RN at one time, so I know a little bit. Because I saw some people on TikTok before I left the Gypsy Rose community. There was a girl on TikTok who was calling Becca Scoops out for using the wrong terminology, saying Becca Scoops cannot be an RN because if she was an RN, then she would know the correct terminology. And so she was calling out Becca Scoops for using wrong terminology. And that was getting me thinking that Becca Scoops was lying about something. And she was. Because when you use the wrong terminology, and there are RNs out there that know the right terminology and you use the wrong ones, you kind of get yourself busted. Can't make someone go pro se. You hire an attorney or prove you don't have the funds. I know, Fancy, but where's Fancy getting this money as my biggest question? Because she's a YouTuber. She can't. I hear the Good Wives Network is broke. Fancy was borrowing money from Sarah and everybody, unless they're lying. Like, the finances of the Good Wives Network is. And her husband doesn't have a job, and the house they live in is like her daughter's or something. And so they should qualify for a public defender. They should more than qualify. So where is Fancy pulling in this money, unless it's all household and maybe, I guess, her kids and everything? I don't know. Yeah. Well, they told her she didn't have the funds to get an attorney. And so she's going pro se instead because she doesn't have the funds to hire one, but she supposedly has enough funds to not be handed one. Which is like, everybody who goes to court gets a public defender. I don't know one person that's in the justice system that doesn't go pro se unless it's by choice. I've seen a guy go pro se because he turned down an attorney because he decided that he was the only one who could get his kids back and take care of his own case. And so he didn't want to trust it to an attorney. And so he told the judge that, and the judge was like, "Are you sure?" And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "No, I really want to do my own case." He's like, I'm going to do my own thing. And I was really surprised and shocked. And I should have gone back to the courthouse to watch his case. I wish I should have. I'm lazy. I should have. Because I wanted to see this guy fight for his kids. Hiding assets, most likely, yeah. Get away by spending other. Because, yeah, there's something that is making the court say, Fancy, you got money. You got money. She must be hiding it from the Good Wives Network. She must be pulling in money somehow and hiding it. And because everybody that has left the Good Wives, I'm a little disappointed in Brandy. Brandy is now on Fancy's side. She was making videos against Fancy, and now all of a sudden Brandy is making videos with Fancy and Ryan Lee, and the back talking against Fancy is stopped. And it makes you wonder what happened. They're like, "Oh, we talked and we ironed out everything." And it turns out it was just kind of a misunderstanding. But now we're friends again. The way other creators turn on. Yeah. No, like, other, like I said, every creator does the best they can, and nobody should be turning on. We should be helping each other, and we shouldn't be worshiping one creator over another. There are creators that, like Sir Morbid's got his sense of humor that people like, and some people don't like it. Some people like it, you know. And I mean, there's just certain things that some creators bring to the table, and that's good. But nobody's like better than anybody else. We're all working the same kind of job. We're all the same kind of people that we're all just regular people in our houses with cameras on our phones or our computers or whatnot. I mean, I'm no different than you guys. Like one moment I'm a streamer and the next moment I'm in the audience and I'm watching a streamer. And I'm just a regular person watching a streamer. And commenting on videos and whatnot. I don't like some of the new streamers that are coming out that are doing those little electronic voices and not showing their faces and stuff, and that's one that Sir Morbid's kind of getting down on because she used somebody else's profile picture, and she has kind of like an electronic voice, and she's hiding who she is for a reason. And so, generally, if you hide your face and your voice, there's a reason. Yes, it is. We are all grade school bullies. It is. It is not good for adults to act like that. So I was like, one of the reasons why I didn't mind leaving the Gypsy Rose community is because I didn't want to put other people down and I didn't want to. I'm not a mean kid. I'm not going to join the mean kids, and I was not going to join the Ken is gay club. I'm still stand by. If Ken says he's not gay, he's not gay. He's with Gypsy. He's in a straight relationship. Leave him alone. Don't keep pushing him to say he's gay. And it was getting really bullying. And you know what? It's been months, and I come back, and they're still making videos talking about Ken, joking about Ken being gay, and it's like 6 or more months later. It's it's like 9 months later, and they're still doing it. They made a video the other day about Cowboy Bear. I thought we debunked Cowboy Bear's situation. I thought we proved that Cowboy Bear was a liar. I thought right there on Morbid's live we proved he was a liar. And that he was just in it for the clout, and he was getting hold of any streamer who would give him the time of day. Exactly. If it's not you, then it doesn't matter. So I tell people, you don't have to come out of the closet. It's not anybody's business unless you want to date them. Then it's their business. The second you want to ask them out and date them, then it's your business. But if you're not dating them and you're not planning on marrying them or whatever, or sleeping with them or whatever, then it is none of your business. Like I said, Ken is with Gypsy. He chooses to be with Gypsy. He says he's straight. He's in a straight relationship. As far as I'm concerned, I believe Ken. He's in a straight relationship. I see him in a straight relationship. He wants to be with Gypsy for some odd reason. Money, whatever it is, money, fame, whatever. It's got to be money. I mean, he had a girlfriend for 5 years. Why did he drop that girlfriend? Unless he hasn't. Like Gypsy said, he still got the hairbrush. She's going frantic over that hairbrush. My ex-girlfriend's hairbrush. It's got blonde hair in it. That's so funny. But yeah, that's what I was saying last year. I wasn't joining in all of that bull crap where they were like, mm-hmm. Look at that. Look how they curl. Mm-hmm. You could totally either make a quesadilla out of these. Oops, don't hold it too long, it will rip. But you could totally, probably, that'd be a lot of cheese though. Because this is made out of cheese and then you make a cheese quesadilla with it. Yeah. Go on. Make a cheese quesadilla out of a tortilla made out of cheese.
What's up?
I said make a cheese quesadilla out of a tortilla made out of cheese. Mm-hmm. I knew that'd make you smile. I'm like, that's too much cheese. It's not for you, right? What? You want a cheese quesadilla? Just kidding. You can have either one, taco or cheese quesadilla. Yeah. Look at these. Look how good they are. Look at that. See? Look at that. See, I think these are going to work out. See? You can totally bend them, roll them. You could probably put them on there and take a spatula and flip them over. Be careful because they will rip. They're still a little tender. But you could probably stick them on the oven and see you flip them.
Yes.
That's what I was saying. You could make a cheese quesadilla out of them, but they're made out of cheese, so you get like extra cheese. Did you want to try a bite?
Sure.
This is the Jello one, so try the Jello one. This is the Jello. And then I'll bring you a piece. Oh no, this is the psyllium one. Sorry, psyllium. I marked the psyllium one so I know. How does that taste?
That's good.
Good? Okay, now I'm going to bring you the Jello one. Tastes very cheesy. It does taste cheesy. You can taste like the cheese in the cauliflower. I can tell there's a little bit of cauliflower in there. You can taste the cheese in the cauliflower. Now try that one.
This one's
the Jello. The unflavored gelatin.
I actually like the psyllium one.
Do you like that one better?
Psyllium's better.
Okay. Well, we don't. You're lucky I'm out of unflavored gelatin because I'm making them all with psyllium right now. So, hey, Dawn says the psyllium one tastes better, so do them with psyllium. Very cheesy, very good. Let's see, he's really with you, lying on the bed too. Walk the dog. I know, I saw that video and I was just like, wow. Because you know what? They shouldn't be having these many problems. Here's my theory. Either A, that baby is his and he did sleep with her 4 days in a row, which is insane. And for some reason, and everybody said, well, he just slept with Gypsy to scratch an itch, because he was talking to her while she was in prison. He was kissing her, he's all over her. And he just wanted to scratch an itch. And but she got pregnant while he was scratching that itch. Or B, they fake this whole story just for the show. That baby is either Ryan's or it's nobody's, and they're borrowing this baby. And as I find it also funny that she was born exactly on the 1 year anniversary that Gypsy got out of prison. Like, don't you find that funny that she was born exactly on the day Gypsy got out of prison? I mean, that's too convenient to be born on that exact day. And then and that's why he's ignoring her, because he doesn't want to be with her. He never was with her. But it's for the money, it's for the show. Because somebody, I don't know, somebody you love so much that you'll ditch your girlfriend for and can't stand to be without. I don't get how you treat them like that at a restaurant and everything. Take them to a restaurant you know they're not gonna like. Force them to eat food you know they're not gonna like. Put them on blast when they don't eat the food you know they're not gonna like. I thought Ken hated Louisiana and seafood and stuff. I thought Ken hated the South and stuff. I thought Ken hated all that. Curious why she went to. I know. Well, see, the thing is the reason why she went to the fertility clinic is because she didn't get pregnant with Dan. She didn't get pregnant with Nick. She didn't get pregnant with any other guy. We know she was with a bunch of other guys. We just don't know how many. Because there was the guy at Comic Con that was not Dan, that was in the hotel room, but that was not Dan. That was a different guy. And then there's Dan, and there's Nick. And those are 3 that we know of. That's 3. And then she didn't get pregnant with Ryan. So she gets out of prison, and things aren't even working out with her and Ryan. And she's so hard up for a baby because she doesn't. I think she also wanted the baby as her saving grace. Like, nobody's gonna send a mother back. It's less of a chance you're gonna send a mother back to prison. Look at those, beautiful. We gotta let the pan cool down so we can put more on. Oh, look at those. They're so beautiful. They look like tortillas. Nice and golden brown on the bottom. She knew she couldn't have kids. She knew she couldn't. She couldn't. She knew there was something wrong with her. I just can't believe that she went to a fertility clinic. Most people's problems don't get solved in 1 or 2 visits at a fertility clinic. It takes time. And most likely it ends up in IVF and stuff. So it just can't be her baby. I mean, Gypsy, she ain't gonna. I like how I was watching her video the other day, and she's like, "Well, everybody says that I'm loose and a slut and blah 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 because I went from Ryan to Ken." And it's like, no, Gypsy, it's not because you went from Ryan to Ken. It's because you went from this guy to that guy to that guy to Dan to Nick to Ryan to Ken and anybody else in between and your toothbrush. I'm like, even your toothbrush got action. And also, I don't even know if Gypsy knows how to get pregnant. Because Gypsy wanted to get pregnant with, if you remember right, Gypsy wanted to get pregnant with Nick. But the reason she couldn't get pregnant with Nick is because they weren't doing what you're supposed to be doing to get pregnant. They weren't placing it in the right areas. As best as I can say that. If you catch my drift. If you know, you know. And so it's like, does she even know how to get pregnant? Because the way to get pregnant by a guy, she doesn't like that way. She doesn't like it that way. She likes it the other way. And she said that multiple times to Nick and everything. Because Nick is autistic, and so he has a problem with blurting out the truth. And so I don't even know if Gypsy even knows what to do. All right, last batch. We gotta get. Oh, they take 20 minutes to cook each. So, but these are turning out fabulous. Now we'll just have to see how see how it is when you add in all the toppings. I'll put pictures on Discord tonight too about when we dress up the tacos and everything, so you can see what it looks like with all the toppings. I wonder if we. I'm gonna take the one of these that we already are snacking on, ripping up. I'm gonna take the Jello one because the Jello one is V's favorite, and I'm gonna see if. Did you want me to put this in here for you to snack on, or are you fasting?
I'm not like strictly fasting.
Because this has no flour in it. See, the Dr. Bird said you can have however much of it you want. Because there's no flour. Yeah, Dr. Berg says these cauliflower pizza crust he does, you can have as much as you want because it's just vegetables and cheese. Cheese and dairy. Or vegetables and dairy, which is good for you. Yeah, eat as much as you want. No carbs. Unless there's carbs in the cottage cheese, I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, no, there's not. Okay. Anyways, let's see. Where were we at? So we're talking about. Let's see, maybe that's why Ken likes her. Because, well, yeah, if Ken's kind of, swings the other way, Gypsy likes it the other way, then it's like you get a boy and girl all in one kind of thing. Is your husband on a diet? Yes, he's got it's called non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. And so it's where your liver has a lot of fat on it. It has nothing to do with alcohol because he's never had alcohol or drink alcohol in his life before. And so, like, 10 years ago, his company paid for a diet for any employee that wanted it. They paid for this diet. And he lost like 35 pounds on this diet. And it was a really good diet. And then, well, in the last 6 years, we haven't followed the diet, and he drank a lot of soda, and he's got acid reflux and everything. And since we've been on this diet, his acid reflux is now gone, and he's lost 20 some odd pounds, 21, 22 pounds so far, and just working on. We went walking all day in Salt Lake on Tuesday, and it's like surprising he hasn't lost a lot of weight because of the walking for 5 hours. Ugh. We usually only go walking an hour a day. We were walking for 5 hours the other day. But yeah, so we started this. Well, we started this diet to we were trying to do what his work was doing, and then we ran into Dr. Berg, who's a chiropractor and a nutritionist, who talked about keto diets a lot. And we also ran into some people on YouTube who follow what's called the carnivore diet. And the carnivore diet is close to the keto diet. It's about eating a lot of vegetables, meats, and fats, no carbs, sugars. And so we're trying this new way of eating. And so we can't have tortillas because tortillas, well, they have a lot of carbs in them and sugars and other stuff. If you read the back, we're the people that sit in the store and read the back labels and then be like, well, we can't have that. It has maltodextrose in it or whatever. And you're like, nope, can't do that. So I'm trying this new way of cooking. And it's not been an easy road. This has not been an easy road to do this new way of cooking. It has not been easy on me. Like I said, this is one of the first recipes that kind of turned out. I didn't know I'd get the tortilla I wanted today. That's fabulous. So what we're going to do real quick, we're going to fire up the grill. I want to see what happens if we put, there's the grill. Okay, there we go. There's the grill. I want to see what happens if we put the tortilla on the grill to see if it gets a little crispier. See if we can get it a little on the crispy side. I know that fatty liver isn't alcohol related. Yeah, it's not. And so basically that's his body type. He's got a liver body type. And because he's still skinny, he's just got that little bit of that gut around his liver and trying to just get healthy and lose that weight. And so yeah, so doing this whole new thing, and I thought, well, I should probably try and stream my journey too of trying to get something right in this keto diet. It's getting frustrating. Been doing this for a couple weeks now, and it's getting a little frustrating because cooking without flours and gluten is not easy. It's not easy at all. And so yeah, but also healthy eating is linked to mental health and all kinds of things. So it's actually really good to eat healthy and eat this way because like healthy eating is linked to mental health and stuff. Like I recently, 2-3 months ago, quit all the meds I've been on through the years. I'm on no more meds anymore. I take the occasional, like, to sleep, but trying to just do sleepy time tea and have that help. Because I sleep and I have nightmares. And I'm trying not to take the med for the sleep and the nightmares. I'm trying to just take the sleepy time tea and all right, let's see if we can put this on there and see what happens. See if we can get it to crisp up a little bit. So yeah, we didn't know when we started this diet that it was keto. It just kind of rolled into the keto style diet. It just kind of rolled that way. Oops. So I lived in Utah. I lived in the okay. I know where Clearfield is. I used to go shopping up there a lot. There's a Target up there that's really good to shop at. In Park City, ooh, posh. Park City and Heber, yeah, those the ski resorts. That's where everybody goes to ski. I'm trying it out on the griddle. Yeah, Park City is. I very rarely ever go up to Park City. When I was driving to Vernal all the time, I would. Okay, this kind of breaks up when you're trying to. Okay, because it remelts the cheese and the egg. Okay, so this isn't very good to. I'm having a hard time flipping it. I broke it in half. Okay, but this is the one with the Jello. Because it is remelting the cheese and the egg instead of crispifying it. It's remelting it. And it's like when you remelt the cheese and the egg, it's actually coming apart. So maybe this isn't a good idea. Okay, that's not a good idea to reheat it back up. Okay, that's not a good idea. Okay, don't go reheating it back up. Not a good idea. Okay, that didn't work out so well. Okay. Maybe, oh, you don't want to microwave. Oh, you're gonna probably have to make quesadillas in the oven or something because you don't want to microwave it. You don't want to microwave it. When you make stuff with like eggs, it's kind of difficult. Eggs and cheese are wet ingredients. They're not dry ingredients. They're wet. These might be better because the psyllium might act a little bit better than because the psyllium looks like it's holding together a little bit better. But now I don't dare put this on I don't dare put it on the griddle. I don't want to ruin these ones. These ones look so nice. Look at them. They look like tortillas. Big fat egg tortillas. Expensive for sure. Yeah. Only transferred quarters. Canyon. Oh, I used to work in Park City, and I hated drive. Well, I've never driven in the winter, but no, like you know if it's snowing or bad weather, you never go up Parley's, like ever. Like that's why whenever we went to Vernal, we would go through Provo Canyon. We would go the back way through Bridal Veil Falls through Provo Canyon, which does lead into Heber, but you skip Parley's in Park City. Therefore, you don't hit up the windy, twisty Parleys in bad weather. If you're gonna have bad weather, you want to do it in Provo Canyon because Provo Canyon is a lot safer and less driven. But you don't want to go through a snowstorm in what do you call it? Duchesne. Ha. We went through a snowstorm in Duchesne. That was bad. But yeah, Park City is it's expensive because that's where the ski resorts are. It's where all the famous people go and ski. It's where Gwyneth Paltrow got in trouble when she skied into another person. She was up there she's up there in Park City. She hit another skier on accident, and he's suing her. And they were up here in Park City, up at the ski resorts. Best snow on earth. Drive slower up Provo Canyon. Yeah. Yep. Every time we've driven Provo Canyon, people are slower. They go the speed limit, and plus you don't want to miss the scenic view. The reason you drive Provo Canyon is because it's scenic. You have Bridal Veil Falls, and you have Strawberry Reservoir, and you have all those lakes, and it's just beautiful. You have all those mountains and trees, and it's the scenic route. It's called the scenic route for a reason. And yeah, Parleys. I got what you're talking about. I'm like, I live in Utah. I know it's called Parleys. Parleys Canyon. Wonder who it was named after. Hey, Dawn. You know what Parleys Canyon was named after?
Do I know what?
What Parleys Canyon was named after? That name just hit me because we're in Utah. So a lot of the names, like in Utah, come from Mormon background. That's what I was wondering. Did they name it for him? Did Parley died over there in New York though, didn't he? Did he ever come to Salt Lake with Brigham? Because I just realized that yeah, we're talking about Parley's Canyon because Boudica used to live here in Clearfield and then Park City. They know Utah pretty well. And I was like, oh, Parley's Canyon. Is that named after Parley? Because like you got Bountiful and Nephi and Behi, and you got all these names that come from. You got Brigham City. I don't know, but either the names came from Indian or they came from Mormon backgrounds. They're either Indian or Mormon backgrounds. I'll have to look and see why they named Parley's Canyon Parley's Canyon. I wonder if because I know that Parley P. Pratt, as far as I understand, he died while on a mission, I think in New York. Dawn. I think if I remember right, the story of Parley P. Pratt and his body, because he died while on a mission, I think in like New York or Pennsylvania or something. Like he died while on a mission for the church.
Yeah.
I'll have to look it up again, but there was something about like his body, about how he wanted like his body like brought I don't know. Like I don't know. I can't remember the full story. That's why I was wondering, did he come to Salt Lake and then go back out east again on a mission? Or did he just not come west at all? I have to look it up. We'll have to look up some history on these Utah names. We all know what Nephi and Lehi means, though. And Lehi's where they shot that movie, Footloose. They shot that up here in Lehi. Everybody loves that movie fact that they shot that here in Utah. Got a religious town that doesn't like to dance. It's Utah. They don't know him, yeah. Yeah, I was talking to my husband, and he's in the background. Can't turn the camera on him. I promise I won't. You can talk in the background, but I don't turn the camera on him. But yeah, that's why I'm gonna dig into the Lori Daybell case. I want to see what's going on with her and everything. Because I'm LDS, I understand the references they use, so I can comment on what they're saying. And if I don't understand, I can just ask my husband. He'll understand. Mm-mm-mm. 6 minutes left, and then we'll have 4 tortillas. So yeah, these turned out really good, guys. These turned out good today. These turned out good. I got another stream planned for when I go upstairs, probably tomorrow because today is gone. It went to a couple hours of cooking. But there's a stream I want to do, very interesting. Just kidding. I've been planning it in the back of my head today. Check out 2V's Pod. Yeah. Oh yeah, I was gonna write that down, huh? 2V's Pod. If you get the chance, that's a whole rabbit hole. Okay. I will go check that out. Because yes, I want to go see what he has to say and everything. I need to catch up on this case. I should have been on this case from the beginning. Oh well. Like I should have. Because the 144, that's a whole deep doctrine story to get into. That's a lot. That's a lot of into the world revelations kind of thing to get into. Okay, well go have fun mowing the yard. Thanks for chatting with me. We'll see you later. Thanks for watching. I'll put these up on Discord if you want the recipe or something later. Love you. Thank you.